Hey everybody, Joseph Rothschild here, aka Mono Bluetron, back with another episode of 10-Minute Testing. So, you may have noticed there was not an episode this Monday, and subsequently not a stream on Tuesday. That's for a couple of reasons. The lack of a Monday episode is because I had orientation for Olive Garden from 9 to noon, and I thought I'd have to be memorizing a new part for the production I'm in, and the lack of a stream on Tuesday is because my computer decided it was time for every single problem that could ever happen to a computer to happen at once. So it is now in the shop, and I am recording this on my backup computer. However, because the frequency of the videos has been pretty high, and because I am now in a position where I have to sort of buckle down as far as this production goes, slash actually buckle down and work for 8 hours a day, I am going to be reevaluating how often I make videos and stream. Look for announcements regarding that in the upcoming months. For today, though, let's just jump into Deck Edit and see what I've concocted. So this is a deck that a friend and I came up with after we sort of tried to figure out what the best or most effective Kaiju list was. I was under the impression it was Artifact Kaiju. Obviously, I was incorrect. My friend was under the conception that it was some sort of Kaiju stun deck, and eventually we happened upon this monstrosity. I'm calling it Baby Raccoon Kaiju because it's a mismatch of those two archetypes. It aims to use the effect of Ronin Raccoon's Sondayu to make a giant token with the same attack as something like Jizukuru or Thunder King, and then sit on double Ronin Raccoon against decks that can't get past it, or Ronin Raccoon and a Naturia Beast versus most decks. And I don't have to tell you how powerful it is to open up with an anti-spell fragrance on legs. So we have just a few Kaiju monsters. We're playing 3 Jizukuru and 2 Gamma Seal. This is our plan B. Occasionally we have to just sit on Jizukuru and hope that its effect is good enough in order to actually win us the game. More often, though, we're just making it for big tokens. We have 2 Thunder King. As you know, Thunder King was recently set to semi-limited, so we can, in fact, play 2. This is a joke. We're playing 1 Radiant the Multidimensional Kaiju. This is not a good card, but it is the lowest attack sort of vanilla Kaiju. It doesn't have an effect that can be used on your opponent's turn, so you can tribute your opponent's monster for it and then beat over it with something like Jizukuru. We got 2 Tree Otter in order to make big Sondayu tokens, set up OTKs. It's also a beast you can get off Obedience Schooled. 2 Favored Serporel. It works really well with Valeraphon, and once again, another beast we can get off Obedience Schooled. It also happens to be a tuner. 3 Baby Raccoon Ponpoko. This is our plan C that we use to get out Tauntaun, but once again, it is a beast. This one is specifically an Earth, which makes it really good for Naturia Beast. Then we have 2 Valeraphon, our main tuner, 2 Kalimtosa, which destroys a card when it is special summoned by the effect of a beast monster, and 2 Baby Raccoon Tauntaun, which can do anything you would ever want. We have 1 Regeki because it's good, 2 Pot of Desires because we have to draw cards, 1 Upstart Goblin. These 3 cards are really good in conjunction with Kyoto Waterfront because this card needs cards that recycle themselves. 3 Terraforming also help to that effect, and for us to find Waterfront, because if we get to open Waterfront and Obedience Schooled, we are in business. We have 2 copies of Twin Twister. This is, pretty good. And in a deck where we add a whole bunch of Kaiju that we're not going to use to our hand anyway, it's fine to be discarding cards. The new additions to the deck are these sort of stun traps. We got 3 Quaking Mirror Force and 1 Solemn Warning. Quaking's been very good. It's especially good with Thunder King, the Lightning Strike Kaiju. You use his effect, and then you blow up all the monsters that you set face down. In the extra, we have Stardust, or Star Eater Dragon to go into with Thunder King plus Valeraphon. We have Assault Blackwing to go into with Jizukuru plus Valeraphon. I can't imagine a scenario in which you'd need to do this. We have Leo Keeper the Sacred Tree to go into with Gamma Seal plus Valeraphon. We have 2 Naturia Beasts, 2 Fabled Unicorn, a bunch of rank 2s we'll probably never go into, and then 3 Sondayu and a Utopic Future. So let's jump into games and see what happens. So since the purpose of the deck is to feast off the sort of decks that rely on spell cards in order to regain advantage, we're going to hope that we run into those meta decks. I can't imagine we'd be pretty good against other strategies, but we have run into a Blue Eyes deck, once again playing the Ritual card. Geez, I can't tell you guys, get off this Ritual card. It's not good. We've opened hot nothing. 2 Kalimtosas is really not what you want to see, except we do have Obedience Schooled plus Kyoto, which is basically all we would ever need. We also get to go first. So we're going to fire off this Obedience Schooled, get the tuner plus a bunch of guys, make Ronin Raccoon, make a token, get Kalimtosa through normal summoning, and then make an Aturia Beast. Now Kyoto Waterfront's at 3, and we can add a Thunder King to our hand. What a turn 1. He's going to lead off with an MST. First of all, that MST does nothing because it only removes a counter. It doesn't actually destroy Kyoto, but I'm like, whatever, I don't care, I'll negate it anyway. Hopefully he thinks it's once per turn and I can grab him with that. But of course, he can't even beat over Sandayu because it can't be destroyed by battle as long as you have another beast, and he gets a chaos form that obviously can't do anything, and I make a whole shitload of Kaiju and he decides it's over. Although his decision didn't really matter. We can normal summon Thunder King, or special summon Thunder King, use Ronin Raccoon's effect to make a giant token, and then normal summon Ponpoko for lethal. That stellar butt bungling. Here we are getting our butt bungled once again. Game 2s always seem to go pretty poorly for us. We open up Kyoto Waterfront, but not a whole lot else. We get to normal summon Ponpoko, which sets a Tauntaun. Then we'll set a Twin Twister as well. Our opponent opens up with the fatty Archfiend to destroy our back row, which is rough, because I really would have loved to use that Twin Twister. He's going to special summon Pendulum Dragon and Wizard and Archfiend, and then get a whole bunch of Pendulums to his hand. I'm not feeling super hot, especially because he has an Odd Eyes Unicorn and a Pendulum Dragon, which he's going to use to attack into our Ponpoko, which might kill us. I haven't done the math. Nope, we're at 1,000. So I'm going to use Tauntaun to get Kalimtosa just because I have to destroy this card that he has set. He, has everything at this point, all these magicians in his hand. We are going to use Waterfront to get a Kaiju, use Bellerophon to special summon a guy back, make Ronin Raccoon Sandayu, but at this point, there's really no way for us to win the game, especially when we're at 1,000 life against this thing that has 1,000 more attack than Bellerophon. So while that last one looked pretty bad, imagine if we had the opening where we make Naturia Beast turn 1. They would just have been completely screwed, right? Like, it's really important to be able to make that opening, and if there's more consistent ways to do that, I'm open to hearing them. I really think that it's incredibly important for the deck to be able to repeatedly negate spells. It has not a big problem with monsters just because you can use the tokens to crash any monster you want, plus tribute them for Kaiju, but spells are something else. We're up against DD, a deck that I expect to be meta coming soon. It actually topped a regional recently, so I'm excited to see how this plays out. Let's swap back. I don't want to see him. He's going to make the King to Arc, and then he's going to 1-for-1 into Savant, which gets him Covenant with a Dark Gate. I guess that's Contract with a Gate. And he flips up Witch. That doesn't actually do anything. We're going to Twin Twist both these spells away, and then use Kyoto to get a Kaiju. We're going to get Thunder King, use Thunder King's effect to blow up his whole board, and then set a Tauntaun. This isn't exactly a very good open for us, but somehow we have gotten a fatty 5-for-1. Our opponent normal summons Savant Copernicus, which he's going to use to send Necro Slime. Then he's going to banish for, what does this guy do? Cruel Dragon King Beowulf. Yeah, this doesn't do anything. It destroys all my spell and traps, but unfortunately this can't be destroyed as long as it has a counter on it, and it has 2 counters on it, and he can't get over the Thunder King, so I believe he decides he's done. Yep. So we're back with the deck. I was really impressed, to be honest. I really think this deck has legs, especially when you're able to make the turn 1 Naturia Beast, but making that turn 1 Naturia Beast is so important. And things like normal summoning Ponpoko into setting Tauntaun are just too slow. They don't do what you want to do, especially when everyone has ways to interact at instant speed. It really sucks unless you're able to open up the combo of Obedience Schooled plus any of these guys. I thought about playing things like maybe Left Arm Offering because we'd add cards to our hand later anyway, but man, that card is just so bad. I can't imagine a world in which it's good. If you can think of a more consistent way to get Obedience Schooled into your opener or make Naturia Beast turn 1, let me know. Otherwise, I think this is probably the best you're going to do. Things like Quaking Mirror Force really buy us the time in order to set up that combo in worlds where we can't have it. But, it's certainly not guaranteed. And if your opponent's already drawn a million cards off of, like, melodies and cards of consonants, then it doesn't really matter when you establish your board. As long as they have the tools in their hand to deal with it, they'll huck you up good time. So that's that. I hope you enjoyed my excuses at the beginning of this video. I hope you enjoyed another video of attempting to jam Kaiju where they don't belong, and most of all, I just hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, make sure to give me a like, a comment, or a subscribe. It really helps me out, and if you want to see these decks we make in the show played on camera. I am streaming this Thursday from 9:30 a.m. to noon. Eastern Standard Time. In the future, I will probably be streaming at different times, but I'll try and identify when I am free based on what my schedule looks like starting next week. I'll let you know when that changes. And finally, if you want to see a certain deck or archetype played on a future episode of this show, let me know in the comments below, and I will do my best to accommodate you. Otherwise, I will see you on Friday.